like yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, God, you know.
Looks pretty.
Okay. Pretty.
Looks good on you.
It looks pretty.
Looks pretty. Looks nice. So, Astrid.
Yes.
Welcome.
So I'm just gonna, right?
Yeah.
I'm just looking in the camera.
Sure.
Because it feels funny to speak to you and look in the, okay, all right. Okay.
Get used to it. You're now releasing your second solo album and your first album, which is crowdfunded. It's a lot of freedom, I guess. But were there like good and bad experiences with the crowdfunding? How did you get there?
Okay, so crowdfunding, I found out about crowdfunding a few years ago, and I thought it was really, really exciting and interesting, and thought, well, maybe I could do my next record with crowdfunding. And so it took some time to decide because I was very fearful of the fact, can I ask people, are they gonna want anything that I do? They're actually paying for something that they don't know yet. They don't know what they're paying for. So with a wonderful woman, her name is Caroline Kraft, I did a lot of research. We watched videos, we kind of investigated on how to do it. I picked a platform and decided, yes, I will do a crowdfunding, only because, as you say, I wanted to keep the freedom, and I also wanted to try something new. I wanted to experiment with something that I had never done before, and I wanted to see if it works. And luckily it did work.
157%.
Yeah. Yes, I got over 100%, yeah, 157%, which is really, really cool. Thank you so much. But I went through some sweat. I was very, my hands were sweaty when I pushed that button, because there's an online button you have to push to say, okay, we go now. And there's a lot that doesn't have to do with music. So you're doing a lot of work and not really a lot of music to pick up this crowdfunding thing to do it. So that was kind of, that was a challenge, to figure out what can I give people, how can I present myself, you know, the little movie, the little sequence that you see. But there's nothing negative about it actually, except it's a lot of writing work. But that's not even negative either, so it's all good. It's all pretty cool.
You talk a lot about thankfulness.
Yes, I do.
It's for me a bit of a term which comes out of like spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any connections to any kind of spirituality?
Of course. Yeah. Yes, I do. But it's a very personal one, and it has grown on me for a long time. I mean, growing up, even though I was born in Berlin, but growing up in Houston, of course, there's a lot of church going and a lot of spirituality in that. I have discussions with my children a lot, but I find it important not to impose anything on...
discussions about what?
About spirituality.
Mm-hmm. What are they asking? Is there God, or I don't believe in God, or I do believe in God, or should we believe in God, or what do they believe in, or why is there this discussion at all? Why is it difficult for people to accept other people's belief? And what do you answer to that question?
I mean, these are
kids. I mean,
well, these are discussions that I can't answer that right now, because it really depends on. I mean, unfortunately, humans are not the best creatures in, in tolerance, and being tolerant is one of the things that I try to teach my children. This is just not accepting hurt. That's another thing. Of course, there's pain, there's inflicted pain. I don't feel that they have to accept anything that hurts, but
if I believe one thing and my son believes another thing and my daughter believes something else, that's fine. That's fine.
So, talking about another topic which maybe you have to come to terms with, or had to come to terms with, is the death of your grandmother, which is the title of your album, her name.
Yes.
Precious Ruby, as you found out. Precious.
Yeah.
You know Ruby, but you didn't know Precious.
No, the other way. I knew Precious. I knew Precious,
okay.
but I didn't know Ruby. Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was the things she taught you in life, and which stories of her made into the album?
Oh, wow, good question. There's one song. There's one specific song that is about her, or maybe I should say about being left alone. Because death is such a difficult issue, and also getting older, I think nowadays is something that people think they don't, or won't, or don't want to have anything to do with. And she was in need. She was in need of help and in need of being taken care of. And I wish for my mother and you know, people that I know that are growing older, that they always have someone there that's by their side to take care of them and not left alone, which my grandmother was not. But it's still, you know, it's a heavy situation being old. It just is. And you have that life you led, and then all of a sudden you are laying there and you can't do anything and you're dependent on other people. And I think that's a pretty rough issue. So there's one song that's kind of like that, but I can't go into that.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
What I do want to say is that for me, it's the feel also of the record. Even though she listened to blues and country music, and the record is not blues and country, but for me it has a feel of her some kind of way. Yeah.
And then there was this one video, 2008, the Bremer Philharmoniker. You were on stage, 1 minute in, and you just had to restart the whole set because you said, like, I thought I was gonna fake it to make it sound like it was the right beginning, but it was not. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's why we start again. Everyone appreciated it. Everyone warmed up to you. It was a really human and warm moment. But nevertheless, you said you were excited. You had stage fright, even at that point in your career, 2008. And you said some people say, like, stage fright never really goes away, but you get used to it. So what's your take on it?
My take on it. Okay, so yes, stage fright. I get excited, and I maybe for the first 2 songs. During the second song, often it kind of leaves me, but the first 2 songs are can be very, very shaky. And since I've started accompanying myself on stage, which have been, I guess, for the last 4 years now, 5, my leg starts trembling, you know, so I'm sitting at the piano and it just trembles, and unfortunately it's an important leg because that's where my pedal is, and sometimes I feel I can't really play the song. I don't really have I tell you the truth, see, I don't have a take on stage fright. It's there, and it's there most of the time. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big. And it's like, I don't know if you've ever had to speak in front of class or play a song that you think you might not play as well as you want to play it or so.
and you feel like you're 12 years old or you're 11 years old and everybody's looking and you just hope you don't. So, and that's it, you know, and it leaves after a while, and there's a calmness that comes and a feeling of, okay, it's all good, and I kind of feel good up here. It kind of feels comfortable. And you're right, people do appreciate honesty and authenticity, even though, I don't know, authenticity, it's honesty, right? So you're honest. You're not lying. And I decided, or no, I didn't decide. I guess it was always that way. I just didn't know why I should pretend. So, there's enough pretending.
I think you are saying like people telling you to not be so sad, but it's actually just you being vulnerable. You showing like you like letting that part of yourself out, and you don't see that very often. It's uncommon to people, and that's why they're saying like no one else does that like you. Like stop, you know, like
yeah,
well, stands out a bit.
I mean, of course, people. It's hard to cope with people being sad. I find that as well. When someone's sad around me, you know, it's like you want to help, but you don't know, and is it too much, or you know, is that person sad because of you? And all these questions. If somebody's happy, they're just happy. You know, you don't question happiness. But actually, there's always a question about sadness and about melancholic behavior. And I mean, the only problem with being sad and crying on stage is that you can't really sing when you cry, which is why, you know, I don't like it when it happens. I never do it on purpose. It just comes. And sometimes, because the 2008, you know, that video, I cried on stage, and so you realize how people are like, you know, also on stage. Like, what should we do? Should we stop? What do we do when she's, you know? Yeah, but that's just, I can't help it. It just happens, and I just hope, you know, it's okay. It's all right.
So will we see you cry on Saturday?
No. I hope not. No, I hope not. I mean, there are many sad songs, oh my goodness. But they're not hopeless. For me, they're all hopeful sad songs. And I hope not to cry. Like I said, I look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when I cry because my nose gets really big, and people don't know what to do. They're like, "Oh my God, she's crying." No, I hope I don't.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for these amazing questions. I hope you can figure out what I'm saying.
Sure. If not I, people will.
I hope.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've been thinking about the things you say, how you see yourself indeed, sounded like somebody else. I did not say what I felt, 'cause it turned into a pastime, brings back memories I know not yours but mine. What's going on with you? I remember always a